getting ready to have our next guest loaded up. It's going to be Sue Aumiller, director of the Columbus chapter, wife and mother of 2 FSHD patients. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about the Sharegiver Hour and amongst other things. So I'm excited to have her aboard coming up here. Text to give. How do we do that? Text FSHD to 243725. And you can also go to FSHD Society's page and just click on the donate button. And Sue is working on getting herself locked in here. And
okay.
Hey, Sue, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm good, Tim. I'm feeling honored to be speaking among this illustrious group you've had on today. It's pretty incredible.
It is. It is an incredible group of people.
Yeah.
And don't sell yourself short here, Sue. You have a ton to give in this day on this Giving Tuesday event. Where should we start? Well, first, let's start with you, right? You are the wife and mother to FSHD patients. So you have FSHD in your family, and you're a caregiver, a wife and mother. So tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about your FSHD background and story.
All right. Well, let's see. I was on a retirement trip with my husband in 2017 when we got a call from my son, Bill, who lives in Salt Lake City. And at the time, he was in Colorado. And he said that he had just received a diagnosis of something called FSHD, facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy. And my husband and I just were in shock. Bill is the epitome of health, and he, every week it seemed like he was sending pictures from another 10,000-foot mountain he had climbed, and big backpacker and skier. He's just so active and so athletic, and we were shocked. And so the first thing we do as a family is come together and form a game plan. We try to be very proactive, whether it's good or bad news. And so we went to Bill and his wife, Jamie, and their little girl, Lucy, and thought we'd form a game plan. Well, the more we learned about it on the website, the more, at that time, kind of discouraged with nothing being available. So to form a game plan was mostly, eat super healthy, which he already did, and keep exercising. So on the website, I was led to Beth Johnston. And Beth is just so incredible. And she lives just an hour north of Colorado Springs, where Bill and Jamie were living at the time. And she and I got together for coffee. And she was just a godsend. Beth, thank you so much. She was such an advocate and so upbeat, and just, I just felt like she was welcoming us into the family. Yeah. And she was just incredible. And Beth and how she is. So that was our first experience with it. And we still were learning about the disease, and just felt so much better having Beth and people at the society to talk with and learn more about what was going on. So next we met Mark Stone, and he just blew us away with his tenacity and his just, fortitude. He's going to get the cure, he's not quitting till he gets that cure. And that just, things like that, when you talk to one individual like Mark, you walk away thinking, all right, we're going to be okay. No matter what happens, we're going to be okay. To have him in our court. Yeah. So just being involved with this group of people, you and everyone at the society and everyone we've met through FSHD, has just been a gift. You look for the gifts in hardship, and this has just been such a gift. I wouldn't you know, if there was a cure tomorrow, I would want to stay in
Sure.
touch with everybody.
Yeah, right.
And then about 3 months later, my husband and I were on a walk, and his foot was just slapping on the ground. And I said, honey, you have drop foot. And I was familiar with it because a friend I work with just had surgery to help her drop foot. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if that has anything to do with FSHD.
Yeah.
It's amazing how, you know, you think you're pretty smart. And to think those 3 months, we were in total denial about Bob. Denial is a powerful thing. But we were so focused on Bill. And then we started looking at Bob. And for heaven's sakes, he had shoulder issues and leg issues for years. And now it's just like, oh my gosh, Bob has it. Like everybody we knew probably thought, they probably already thought that. But so we got involved.
And that's what and that just kind of shows to the family character you talked about there, how you got together to form a game plan.
Yes.
Right. And that's how you dealt with things. It wasn't, you know, forget this, shove it in a closet somewhere. We're not going to think about it. Move on.
Yeah.
It was, okay, how do we tackle this then? And I'm sure you were discouraged, like so many of us, where you start to search. And like for me, I got the doom and gloom diagnosis of no cure, no treatment. I'm like, it's not even a treatment. I'm like,
yeah, I know.
We can send a man to the moon, but we can't get a treatment. What are you talking about?
Right.
So, you know, it's just, you're just baffled and then you're lost. And then you try to find something to make yourself feel like it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. The FSHD Society can definitely be that place, or is that place. And yeah, of all the people to meet first, right, Beth? I mean, that is great. What a perfect greeter.
I'll say. She's the best cheerleader for the society.
Absolutely. And so when you said that that's the person you met, I'm like, oh yeah, I could envision it. I'm sure she greeted you like you were a long lost family.
Right.
And you know, she said, I haven't talked for a little while. So,
yes. Yes.
So when did the first meeting start for you guys in the Columbus area? For the chapter?
We started a chapter program 2018. And, you know, it's pretty remarkable to have people come together, and people came to our chapter meeting having never met another human being with FSHD before. And those who had, it was mostly because it was in their family, you know, and so it was just a remarkable experience to start a chapter. And it's something that when you get together with people who are going through your same thing, there's just nothing that can replace that. And when they're local or within the state, we actually had people for that first meeting come from Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, because there weren't other chapter meetings at the time. So it was remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was that moment like? I mean, I know it from my perspective, but I'm curious from yours, that the first time in the meeting, and then you're meeting people, you know, for the first time. That you know, what was that moment like?
It's just, you just want to hug everybody.
You're right.
You know, you do. You just want to say, welcome to the family. We're all in this together, and give everybody a big hug. Yeah. Because it's just a shared experience that you just don't find, you know, you try to understand, you know, people you're close to and good friends. You try to understand where they are with various stages of hardship or things that happen in their life. And it's not hardship, it's just a change in lifestyle, really. But it's never quite the same unless it's someone who is actually in your shoes. So
yeah, I think
it's important.
I agree. Yeah,
to get involved in the chapters.
Yeah, it is, because then you have that connectability as much as or as little as you want it to be, you know, if it's events or more volunteering level, but at least you have the connection. You don't feel so
Yes.
alone. And
Yes.
that kind of pulls into those resources. Now, you helped start the Sharegiver Hour. Um,
Yes.
and that I think is phenomenal. I kind of jumped in on the last one, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a caregiver, because it is for you know, caregivers. But tell us a little bit about the group and about the desire to start it.
This is another interesting topic because I've spent a career talking to people about the importance of planning for later in life when you might need care.
Hmm.
And here we are, we're so young at 64. We're youngsters and need care. And I know people are experiencing this disease with their children, young children, and teenagers. And what is obvious to all of us with any topic, when you talk about a topic because you've read about it in a book or read an article, that's all well and good. But until you experience it, it's, it's theory. So having a caregiver hour, I think, is critical for all of us who love others and are caring for others with FSHD. We call it share giving, not caregiving, because we're a team. Bob and I are a team. We've been married for 42 years.
Wow.
We have been, just working in tandem for so long and collaboratively on all our life's adventures. And now we're switching roles, really. Bob graduated in forestry, and I always referred to him as my Paul Bunyan because he had muscles like an ox and could lift
Yeah.
anything and cut down a tree and pick it up and throw it on the back of the pickup. But now I'm the heavy lifter.
Right.
And so, but that's okay. We're a team and our roles are changed. But it gets tiring and my back hurts, especially right now when I'm bringing stuff up from the basement, Christmas boxes and hauling things. I need to take some strength training classes. But, every now and then I just want to gripe about it without feeling guilty or selfish.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't think I'm resentful, but maybe I'm feeling resentful about some things. Maybe if I hear other people talking about it, maybe that'll help bring it out in me.
Mm.
And I'm a big believer in talking as therapy.
Mm.
I think just talking, having other people who share our experience as caregivers for people with this, situation which they have no control over, and things just slowly, progressively get worse. We want to stay upbeat and positive, and we want to help that person stay as independent as possible. But in order to do that, we need to take care of ourselves. Because if we're run down and if our back hurts, I can't help Bob get
Right.
dressed. I can't help him, get in and out of the tub when he's soaking his muscles.
Right.
We have to take time for ourselves. And that's something, especially for women, and not being sexist, but we're just multitaskers by nature. It's very difficult to stop and remember that. And
Mhm.
in a way, this COVID, again, look for silver linings. It's given me an opportunity to just say, I'm going for a 6-mile walk. I'm out of here, because that's about all I can do.
Yeah.
But for the first time since this disease became a part of our family, this year during COVID, I'm actually taking care of myself. And this share giving hour, I think, is so important for all of you listeners who are helping your spouse, significant other, loved ones, your kids. Please join us and check us out. It's the 4th Tuesday of the month. Actually, the next one's December 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And please, please join us and just check it out for yourself and see if just sharing your story, just that. And you don't have to say anything, just listen. You can get a lot just from listening.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the community that needs to be taken care of, to be honest. And,
yeah.
Sometimes I get the feedback from my family a little bit, or even friends. I get the, how you doing? And I know they're not asking me, how am I doing today? Because, it's raining out or something. They're asking that deeper level of, how's your FSHD?
Right.
Especially if you haven't seen me for a while. And I always respond, I'm good. But then they stop. And I get almost irritated because I'm like, no one's asking my wife how she's doing.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's rare.
She might as well have it too, sometimes I say, because she has to be walking right with the struggle, with it and right in there. So it's like, and everyone has to cope with things their own way. And I get that, but you don't want a group of people that are helping another group of people be forgotten about because they're helping
exactly.
And I think the group that started there addresses that huge. And it's something that I'm glad we could talk about here at this time, giving it space that it needs so people are aware of it. And probably one of the larger viewed events that we have is very crucial. So the next one's December. Is this something that you're hoping that continues on into 2021, of course?
Yes.
And how about...
I want to say Sue Drescher is leading the charge here, and I'm kind of her backup. And Sue is just phenomenal. She's like a born therapist. It's not therapy. It is for me, tuning in.
Right.
But she is in therapist in that she is so understanding, such a great listener, and just very non-judgmental. And she's awesome. So I'm just so happy to be partnering with her in this endeavor and thrilled because this is so necessary for everyone out there who knows anyone with FSHD and helps. Maybe you're helping a friend whose spouse has FSHD. Give her a break for an hour to go take a walk. Or, that is such a gift. Just little things to help. It's a gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Sue, for being here and sharing your gift with us. And
thanks, Tim.
The group. I appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you do.